Hey everyone, Renee here. So today's video is going to be all about another one of my most trusted brands, Medik8. We're partnered to share with you my personal favorites. In fact, Medik8 is just one of those brands where every formula I've tried is just so good. So I've narrowed it down to just the formulas that have now taken up permanent residency in my skincare rotation. There are 5 of them, some of which you've already seen in past favorites, and have kind of become evergreen for me at this point. So these are ones that I really think are worthy of consideration. So when I first discovered Medik8, it was about 3 years ago, and it wasn't even available in the US yet. I couldn't get my hands on it until I went to England, and it was Nadine Baggett who actually gave me, to this day, what is one of my favorite all-time formulas. Since then, about 2 years ago, I had the privilege of visiting their vast and super sci-fi, really cool facilities, their labs, talked to the founders who actually are cosmetic chemists, as well as the other cosmetic formulators in their labs. It's an all-in-one operation, so the brand controls everything from formulating down to packaging and shipping, and I don't think most people realize how rare that is in a brand. They have control over every aspect of production. This is very special because you get to see very clearly what is important to a brand. So what really stood out to me beyond the efficacy and really innovative formulas is their intense focus on stability. They have a C.S.A philosophy, which is very much aligned with my own skincare philosophy. Vitamin C and S is sunscreen during the day and vitamin A at nighttime. So when you're talking about vitamin C, sunscreens, filters, and vitamin A, these are the most unstable ingredients to formulate. And so stability becomes one of the most important things. And it's really hard to know when you buy a formula over the counter, whether or not, if it says, 10% vitamin C, whether or not you really are getting an active 10% vitamin C, or if you get a retinol formula. So for me, this kind of knowledge is what really guides my choices. So I'm going to share my 5 favorites. I'm going to start off with what I consider to be their superstar, which is the Crystal Retinol. There are a range of 4 strengths. There's Crystal Retinol 1, 3, 6, and 10. I actually started with 6. I went straight in with 6 because while this wasn't my first retinaldehyde treatment, this is certainly my favorite one. If you want to learn more about the different types of vitamin A available, then I will link some videos in the description box down below and up here. Retinaldehyde, since discovery over 3 years ago, has been my favorite form of OTC vitamin A. Nothing else even comes close, in my opinion, in terms of efficacy and just a better user experience. Retinaldehyde is only one conversion step away from retinoic acid, which is the form of vitamin A that our skin recognizes and can use, whereas retinol has to be converted to retinaldehyde and then retinoic acid. Retinol is notoriously unstable, and Medik8 has managed to conquer that by crystal encapsulating it. So during the stability testing, it's really interesting because this is something I actually got to experience a little bit of, but they're monitoring all the molecules in the formula just to make sure that there are no changes through time. In my experience, I find this to be really similar to what tretinoin does for my skin, which I feel like is the really flattering, beautifying vitamin A. It is definitely gentler though. With 6, I didn't experience any side effects. With 10, that's when I began to feel just a little bit of sensitivity, but not close to what I've experienced with tretinoin. But it also has direct antibacterial action on the skin. So this is really good if you're someone who is prone to acne. So another thing I love about this formula is it contains 2 of the most powerful vitamin C derivatives, ones that are particularly great at evening the skin tone and toning down hyperpigmentation. So that's THD and 3-O-ethyl ascorbate. So I use this in the same way as I use Tret. There's a really light, silky, emulsion type texture to this that is slightly moisturizing, and it's hydrating as well. So I will either use this right after cleansing my skin, or I will use this after a hydrating toner or a hydrating serum. For me, before I started using Tret, I used this maybe 5 nights a week. And then when I started using Tret, this was perfect for just helping phase tretinoin in. So when I started using tretinoin maybe 1 night a week, I would use this maybe another 2 nights during the week. I actually found the combination of alternating this with tretinoin to be just far gentler on my skin. They actually worked really, really well. And they have the same effect on my skin, which is that sort of megawatt glow and, just everything looked better. Just so you know, especially if you live in the UK, because this is really exciting, but there is now a crystal retinaldehyde 20 available using 0.2% retinaldehyde, way more concentrated than any of the other ones, but it's only available through clinics. You can only get one after consultation. So, definitely inquire more about that if you're interested. Another one you've seen in my favorites, and in my opinion, one of the best hydrating serums, is Hydrate B5 Intense. It is indeed intense. There's also the regular Hydrate B5, which is fabulous. It's very hydrating, more lightweight, but this is just on a whole nother level. This is more than just a hydrating serum. This is like the ultimate barrier strengthening serum, in my opinion. So not only does it have, obviously multiple weights of hyaluronic acid, but it also has vitamin B5, panthenol, which actually comes in second in the INCI list, which is, pretty cool. This is full of natural moisturizing factors as well. There are 15 different types of amino acids in here, but there's also the sodium PCA, urea, which I love. I love urea in anything. It's not the easiest thing to find. Allantoin is also in here. Allantoin is one of my favorite skin soothing ingredients. It's also a derivative of urea. There's glycerin and also lactic acid, but in this formula, not as an exfoliant, as a hydrator. So, natural moisturizing factors are so important because it's really like the building blocks of your skin, just to make sure that your skin can really hold water in. Purple is a favorite color of mine, so naturally I am very drawn to the natural color of this, which comes from the Saskatoon berry, which is full of antioxidants. Obviously, the richer the color, the more antioxidant rich it is. This was found to work really well in conjunction with hyaluronic acid and just creating that reservoir effect on the surface levels of your skin. This is the serum that I want to use all the time. I feel like it's such a treat. Usually with hydrating serums, I use them up so quickly. With this, I feel like I'm a lot more sparing, but also a little bit goes a long way. It really works. It's so great during the cold, dry winter months, but it's also great throughout, the spring and the summer as well. Another superstar, which you've seen me talk about because it's just such a great performer, is the Clarity Peptides. When it comes to concentrated niacinamide serums, especially the ones that have like 10% niacinamide, then this is top 3 for me. This is a serum that just makes your skin look good. It's great for aging concerns, which niacinamide is great for anyway, but also full of peptides. But also it's got zinc PCA. It's really good at just clarifying the skin as well and just keeping your pores tight and small. I actually really love using this during the summer when my skin gets just a little more congestion, but also I spoke about this quite a lot last year, particularly in reference to maskne. This is great to use when you are wearing a mask, but it's just also, I love the fact that it gives a bit of a luminous complexion, like a bit of a radiant one. It's not thick or heavy or, moisturizing even. It's actually so lightweight, just sinks into your skin. It feels really hydrating. It's just very flattering on the skin. This is a weightless treatment. When you apply it, at first it's very refreshing because it's hydrating, but then it just completely sinks into your skin, disappears, and it leaves your skin surface super smooth and just kind of refined looking. Great under layers, over anything. I actually still prefer to apply this before anything else right after cleansing. We need to talk about the bakuchiol peptide serum. So this is surprisingly just a beautiful oil serum, and you guys know how much I love my oil serums. There isn't really much more natural or luxurious, in my opinion, than putting plant oils on your skin. So this is that, but really boosted. So this has a concentration of 1.25% bakuchiol in it. So bakuchiol has been marketed in the skincare world as a plant alternative to retinol. So for me, I kind of feel like, retinol and, vitamin A does work in way more powerful ways, but there are some overlapping qualities that they have. So overall, it's just really great for well-aging skin and also for skin appearance as well. So what many don't realize is bakuchiol is a medicinal ingredient that is used in Ayurvedic practices as well as TCM. You guys know how much I love my medicinal ingredients. I'm all about the TCM, Ayurveda, and Hambang. This sits on a base of sunflower seed oil, but it also has moringa oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, but it just feels really lovely and light in my opinion because it's, not 100% oil. It's also got some beautiful hydrating extracts in it as well, and some soothing and calming ones like Centella asiatica, as well as, aloe vera, but also there's a turmeric extract. So this is great for anti-inflammation or anti-inflammaging. It's moisturizing without being greasy. I just love pressing a few drops into my skin after hydration, but yeah. So I mentioned in my last skincare routine that I started to switch over to more emollient eye creams again, because for many years, because of just milia that kept popping up, I was very much only using the very lightweight, gel-like, hydrating, almost serum-like eye creams. Their Advanced Night Eye is what I've been most recently using. It's kind of perfect for this still dryish spring weather, but also what I really appreciate about it is a creamy and moisturizing eye cream, but at the same time, it doesn't feel heavy at all. It kind of finishes velvety and matte, which really is quite perfect because it feels dense in the jar, but when you apply it, it's just silky. A little goes a long way. It smooths everything out. I wake up in the morning, and this is really important. I wake up in the morning and I do not have puffy eyes, which is common with heavier eye creams. There are times where I can wake up in the morning and my eyelids have disappeared. So it's really great to have an eye cream that just feels a lot more, substantial, that does not have that happen. I wake up in the mornings, my eyes feel like actually kind of brighter, and everything is less visible. But I really feel like it does have a great impact on just smoothing this area out of fine lines or whatnot, or crinkles. Great for well aging. This is substantially moisturizing, but also it is full of peptides. It's got niacinamide, so this is great for just keeping things lifted. Completely surprising to me and so underrated is their lipid balancing cleansing oil. So this is a combination of the balancing oils, the linoleic fatty acids, the omega-6s, the ones that are more lightweight and really balancing on the skin. So if you're someone with oily skin, you can use this, but also if you don't have oily skin, it doesn't dry your skin out. It's still beautiful. This is mainly safflower seed oil, which is 70% omega-6, but also vitamin E and moringa extract, which I've mentioned before. I love seeing moringa in cleansing oils and balms because it's like nature's cleanser. It's also full of antioxidants. But none of that would matter if there wasn't performance. And let me tell you, this really performs. It melts everything off effortlessly. Waterproof Japanese mascaras, eyeliner. It also emulsifies and rinses off completely clean. Something else that's very important to me. Really underrated. And you may want to check out their second cleansers as well, the cleansing mousses. Those are excellent too. So these are my 5 favorite formulas from Medik8 and what have become like permanent fixtures in my skincare rotation. These are what I use the most, I reach for, or if I'm not, I want to be using. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'm wishing you great skin health. Bye.